right, here we go. Another day, another live stream. Welcome. Heads up, tomorrow I will not be here. I've got a test to do. So no stream is tomorrow, but today is a different day. Today is a special day. It's a day we're monitoring to see if there's any carry trade impact. So far, so good. No, nothing, even though we expect that broadly, the tailwind of the beauty of the carry trade is fading. Market doesn't give a flying hooty doody, but that's okay because I'm also pretty bullish broadly on Trump tacoing on tariffs entirely this year. I'm not entirely sure when. But I do think people are really worried about uncertainty post the Supreme Court shutting down IEEPA tariffs. I actually think it'll probably be the most bullish, moment for the market, assuming we haven't fallen off the labor cliff. So I'm very interested in that. I'm also, obviously watching the CoreWeave deal and what's going on with the rare earths. We got this big Commerce Department loan to USA Rare Earths, which led this stock to pop up 14%. Interestingly, and I wouldn't have expected this, the sector isn't benefiting from it. What's happening is the money that's being made over at USA Rare Earths is basically coming from MP Material. So it's almost like people are dumping MP Material stock to go buy USA Rare Earths. It makes me wonder if people are just out of money, But anyway, right here on the Qs, it looks like we're going straight to 627. Let's see what happens when we get to 627. You do have the CoreWeave deal, which has not really popped NVIDIA or AMD. And CoreWeave is just chilling at the line over here. We got a 105.44 line, which is a nice recovery from the high 60s that it was and really creates this new potential floor for some of these, I call them long-term bag holder stocks, because long-term they'll be holding these chips that will lose value over time. And it makes sense that NVIDIA wants to prop that up. NVIDIA does not want to see their favorite customers struggle. So creating this new potential floor at like $87 with NVIDIA, kind of smart for keeping the pawns going, so to speak. I don't have to be that bearish on it. But you know what I mean. It's all circular financing. We find it quite entertaining. All right, so let's go explore a little bit. Let's go start with how about we start with the info today. Let's see what we've had over the weekend. Sam Altman seeks premium prices in early ads push. Yeah, because they're out of freaking money, bro. Out of dollar hollers. OpenAI is charging prices that rival those for coveted video programs like the NFL. Oh, wow. That's incredible. But unlike Meta or Google, OpenAI won't be providing detailed information about the query responses accompanying their ads or whether ads prompted GPT users to take action. Okay, so you're getting less information than maybe you might through like Meta in terms of action insights. Maybe they'll introduce that data over time. I think that'll be easy for them to add over time. The highlights it highlights the works that likely remains for OpenAI to build an ad business. Right, so there's still work to be done. That's fine. They're still early in this. Let's see here. Advertising. Let Google and Meta get detailed information that allows marketers to measure what they get for their ad spending. Right. I mean, you could calculate that ROI pretty clearly. If you don't provide those metrics, it's a little harder. OpenAI is targeting a price of $60 for every 1,000 views an ad gets. Wow. The rate is on par with streaming and premium TV. 60 cents, basically, per... Wait, is that 60 cents or 6 cents? No, that's 6 cents. Yeah, 6 cents per impression is what it is. Okay, but it's like a chat impression. That's interesting. And Meta is about 2 cents per view in comparison. Wow. So GPT really thinks their stuff don't stink over here. I'm also very curious to see if they end up putting this into the paid models or just the free models. Let's see. Merchants using Shopify will be able to opt into selling their products through GPT in exchange for a 4% cut of sales. I mean, that's actually kind of smart to integrate Shopify. Like, hey, just click here and buy it now. If they can really streamline, I like the Shopify integration. I don't actually think that's that bad. That could be interesting, but I do worry that it's going to take away some of that neutrality of response. They have to really separate, the advertised product from, like, an honest recommendation, right? Just based on, the studying of reviews for you, right? That was always the cool thing about, non-advertising based chatbots, and still is mostly, is that the expectation is that you can go out there and basically have them go to work for you on telling you what the reviews are, which reviews are best. Idle Chinese plants are inviting businesses with U.S. battery startups. It's interesting. EU investigates Elon Musk's X over Grok integration. NVIDIA invests into CoreWeave deal. Saw this. This is obviously big news this morning. And Jensen is trying to sell in China. Anthropic sought billions for the Apple deal, and the negotiations broke down. Well, that would have been a big deal for them, for Claude. And I'm actually surprised they flubbed this. I didn't know, because they chose Gemini, which was, I think, a fantastic product. But Claude's also very good. I give him credit. In fact, I think Claude's better at some things than even Gemini. But wow, what a flub. I can't believe they missed the boat on that one. So what is this? Doubling down on enterprises? Well, they need the money. The circular funding party continues. This morning, NVIDIA announced it'll invest $2 billion into CoreWeave, who says it'll use that data to build more than 5 gigawatts by 2030. Dude, I think CoreWeave's out of money. Oh, that's right. Oh, remember? Dude, oh my gosh, that's right. CoreWeave has that covenant. Oh man, where was it? This. Oh, it just happened. No way. They are out of money. No way. Look at this. Remember this? This was the CoreWeave Material Definitive Agreement. They announced this on New Year's Eve, that they got some new terms for their loans because they owe a lot of money. They have a lot of bills to pay, right? Listen to this. The First Amendment also permits an unlimited number of equity cures for any failure to service their debt. How interesting. That's tweetable. If you don't follow me on the Tweeter yet, you could follow me on that cesspool at RealMeatKevin. Or if you want less of a cesspool, you can watch my Instagram stories at MeatKevin on Instagram. By the way, cutest little video I put up yesterday on IG of Summer and Violet. But obviously we're going to talk about this CoreWeave thing here, but you got to see this Summer and Violet thing. It was so cute. Really quick, we got to melt the hearts. Here, we don't really need audio on it. But they were having their little Frogger competition. That's Summer on the left. And then we got Violet over here. Obviously, they can walk. They're old enough to walk. But they were having a Frogger competition. So if you want to see, Frogger competitions, there's Ella climbing on furniture, or Pokemon or whatever. You can watch my my Instagram stories, and you can kind of get more of this. And it's incredible here. Here it looks like Summer's gonna win. She got a big head start, and Violet gets booped in the head. But Violet actually wins the race here. Look at that. Isn't that great, Jack? So anyway, yeah, that was really cool. Okay, one sec, Jack. I'm gonna read this really quick, and then we will we'll do your thing. So okay, so let's see here. December Dece 31. CoreWeave is on fumes for cash and announces new loan terms that allow unlimited equity cures for any failure to satisfy debt service, right? Ratios and stuff. And now here we are, literally Jan 26, NVIDIA invests $2 billion at 87 a share. Nothing to see here. That's very interesting to me. It's sussy, honestly. Very sussy. So Jack is here because Jack is dying to open. What are these, Jack?
Phantasmal Flames Pokemon packs.
Phantasmal Flames Pokemon packs. Okay. All right, Jack, pick one. Which one are you going to open? Which one's yours to open? They're my cards.
This one.
Oh, you're cheating. You're looking at the camera. That's all right. Go for it. All right, show us what you got. So, I don't know how you're going to do it with the camera, but show us what you got, and then we got to get back to work.
I'll open it, and then I'll take the cards out, and I'll show it.
Flip them one at a time, something like that. We need like a hand cam, like
from above.
Pokey Rev, from above hand cam. We don't have that. All right, let's see if we can pull any kind of juice over here.
Probably see what this is.
Oh, it's gonna get blurry. Just hold it over at our level. We'll show them in a little bit. Yeah, there we go. All right, that'll work. All right, cool. Let's get through our regulars over here. And then you're going to work soon, aren't you? All right, we've seen a lot of these before. These are all the regulars. Okay. Let's see if we get any juice here. All right, there's your reverse holo. Okay. And is this another reverse holo? And nothing. Mm-hmm. We've gotten that card like 10 times. Yeah. So that's how, as a business lesson, this is how Pokemon makes money. Okay. They probably... these packs, the stores will sell them for like $10. Here, I'll jump to this card. They'll sell these packs for like $10 at the stores. And, what does it cost them to print this? Like 20 cents, right? Not a lot. But the hope is that you end up pulling a card. What's the one in this pack? It's like $1,000, isn't it? 700. There's like a $700 card you could pull of this. I think Max yesterday pulled a $40 card. So it's kind of like gambling for children, but it's cool because I remember it when I was a kid. But anyway, they probably buy these cards in bulk at the stores for like $6. So they've got like a $4 spread on them because you could get these packs in bulk for somewhere. You could get 216 for like $1,400, 216 of these. And so if you sold those, got them for $1,400 and you sold them for $10 a pack, $2,160, and it cost me 14. I'll just call it 1,400. That's a 54% markup. That's actually pretty good. So there's a pretty decent markup on these. Yeah, it's more than 50% because making $4 on 6 is more than 50%. So that's a pretty decent markup that they have on these cards at the game stores. Very interesting markup. And then, obviously it's, you just have to be careful because it is kind of like gambling for kids. Jack, you could always invest in the mountains instead. Wait. No. See ya. Bye. All right. Cool. All right. So back to work. So where were we? Okay. All right. Let's see what's going on here. So it looks like we're coming up against that ceiling that lit again over here at on the Qs, 627. Not going to be surprising either because you should also remember that this week we have the Fed meeting. The Fed meeting is on my birthday, and that's going to generate some volatility because it's going to be the first pause, right? And I have to say, I think markets aren't fully ready for the Fed saying we are not doing any rate cuts this year. We're not going to get a summary of economic. I don't think we are. Let me check. I don't think we're going to get a summary of economic projections this one. Maybe we do. Let's go find out. Federal Reserve calendar. Let's go find out. Yeah, no SEP on this one. So we won't be getting a summary of economic projections. The meeting will be on Wednesday, which is the 28th. Tomorrow we should have another weekly unemployment claims data set. And then I will say that obviously on Wednesday is my birthday. So that does mean we have a big coupon expiration for the ReInvestAI and the, what's it called? The Alpha Report. So remember, you could get those at meetkevin.com. Or househack.com. If you get the Meet Kevin membership, you'll also get the bundle coupon code for ReInvestAI. And we've got some really cool things coming out for ReInvestAI. It's actually partly why I have a test coming tomorrow, but that's really a topic for a different video. But anyway, ADP weekly employment change is expected tomorrow. So we are going to get that weekly data tomorrow. That's going to be a pretty big catalyst to watch for tomorrow. We should write down some of these caddies this week. Let me grab this. Okay, perfect. So let's go jump in jobs. Well, I guess we could just call it more eco. Okay, so catalyst coming up. Catalyst, we have tomorrow ADP at 5:15 a.m. Weekly data, last was 8K, which is 32K a month, basically, is that trend. Then we have, let's see here, anything else that's fun. Cap orders this morning, durables, those came in at a B, but all of that was older data. That was November data. ADP tomorrow, that's going to be big. FOMC Wednesday. And factory orders, I don't really care so much about that. PPI, don't really care that much about that. And then we don't really get anything until S&P manufacturing and ISMs on Feb 2nd. So Feb 2, we'll get ISM and S&P manufacturing numbers. And really what we're looking for here is, are new orders finally coming up again or not? You know, watch the slowdown in new orders. Anything positive here is good. And then for the Fed, which will be Wednesday, we have Fed Day. Expect a pause, no SEP, should be a pretty basic, no surprise Fed of wait and see, right? And then make that an opinion here. And then obviously meetkevin.com and househack.com, ReInvestAI. Coupon expiration, which is coupon B-Day, because it's my birthday for Kevin's birthday. Yeah, and remember, once we get our valuation AI out for the ReInvestAI, or pretty close to that, we'll be going away from the monthly model, so the lifetime access will go away, which I think that's a steal right now. Goodbye, Jack. Have fun at school. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Bye. Okay, good. All right, so now let's see what else we have. And then obviously this CoreWeave thing, I'm going to watch it. Let me see. So the Qs right now, you've got a lot of vol over here on USA Rare Earths. Looks like that was just a really short-term kind of meme pop. And interesting, thank you, Jack. The push over here on MP material just didn't, I mean, people are like liquidating MP material after MP maybe got shunned, you know? Maybe people were waiting for MP to get some kind of investment or additional, you know, Trump bucks, basically. I'm not a big fan of all this capital allocation by these various different government entities. I think the free market should be determining where capital flows go. But anyway, interesting, after this CoreWeave announcement, you know, you're not getting any enthusiasm on AMD. You're really not seeing anything on NVIDIA either. It's mostly flat on the day. Yields are down. Tesla slipping a little bit. Yields are down. Let me see here. I think our 10-2 yield curve, honestly, is not in a bad spot right now. I mean, it's still shock prone, but we're down 3.2. Very interesting over here. Let's see here. And then gold and silver are like rocketing. Absolutely incredible. I think they'll, trailing stops are critical now that we're past 5K and 100. Almost certainly critical. But anyway, OpenAI. Let's see. What was, there really wasn't anything about this OpenAI. Oh, the pricing. That's right. And then we have OpenAI pricing ads at 60. So 6 cents per impression per the information. That was interesting. Then we also had the CoreWeave deal. I'm jaded on it. NVIDIA needed to set a floor as CoreWeave ran out of money, is my opinion. I honestly think CoreWeave ran out of money. So they had to do this. But that's all right. Let's go pop this in here. NVIDIA gave them a little lifeline, which kind of saw that coming. But the more of those lifelines come, I think that's probably why you're seeing less attention on some of those stocks at the moment, like NVIDIA and AMD. It's like you're now being required to provide lifelines to keep them alive. All right, battery manufacturers China's battery manufacturers, more than 40% of the country's battery plants are idle. Oh, okay, this is actually a big deal for a lot of different stocks, Tesla included, mind you. Okay, what the hell? There we go. Trying to get this to sticky to the side. That's a big deal. So, battery warning is what I'm going to call this, because really, if you think about it, this is data. Hold on a sec. Why is this stupid thing not working? Unplug and replug. 1 second. There we go. That usually solves it. Sorry, it's just been... Yeah, there we go. It's solved. All right. So I couldn't get my buttons up faster, so I had to use my backup and have to reach further for that. It's a pain in the butt. Anyway, China's battery manufacturers, over 40% idle. To me, that's a huge red flag for battery manufacturers in the US as margins are about to tank. That's my opinion. This means that this suggests Tesla energy margins and Enphase battery margins are at risk. Okay? That's not great. 40% idle is wild to me. Now, obviously, tariffs help for now. Tariffs on China help for now, but ironically, if Chinese tariffs go away, these manufacturing plants likely become capable of dumping batteries onto U.S. soil, all right, which is actually great for the consumer. Great for consumer. Home batteries, EVs, hybrids, all win, phones, laptops, computers, whatever. DeWalt batteries, right? Like, all win I'm out here. Jensen's chilling agentic AI. I did see that. What's up, Cody? Any lines for Path? Yeah. you have to be just careful of the software segment right now. You can't really bet on a short-term breakout on these with options. Like, I would not play options on software companies right now. That's my head. I would play acquisition mode, right? So like I'd be open to buying exposure to software companies that I thought had growth, pricing power, margins, strong balance sheet, strong cash flow. So like I think Path is actually a great candidate for that. But I don't think it is like, it's going to set up for some near-term explosion to where I'd be confident enough to buy options on it. There's just no momentum for software plays right now. It's a good question, but let's see here. Okay. Somebody says, if you hoarded lithium like Elon said, you'd be rich. I don't actually think that's true. Let's see here. What's been going on with but maybe it is. Let me go find out. Yeah, no, I don't know about that, man. I mean, yes, lithium has recently popped, but look at it in context of the last 5 years. And Elon told you to get rich mining lithium over here. So if you were building a business, assuming that lithium was going to be, at this level over here, and now it's where it is, you would be down 63%. There's been a 63.8% collapse in lithium prices. And only recently in this commodity boom has it really come back a little bit here. So, yeah, kind of wild. Because I remember him saying that. He's like, man, you get into refining lithium or whatever. I was like, but man, you would have then built a business model assuming those high prices. And when those prices collapsed, your business model would have collapsed. Crazy. Okay, so prime opportunity for Western startups to capitalize. Interesting. Let's see. U.S. startups have abandoned idea. I agree with this. So the U.S. startups that have abandoned the idea of manufacturing the batteries themselves are taking advantage of China. Brilliant. That's very smart. Brilliant. Why compete with China on manufacturing batteries? No point. All right. Turn to manufacturing specialists, the Europeans, China, Japan, South Korea. Industry full of bankruptcies. That's just going to drive all the prices down. So expensive to manufacture batteries. Well, to start up, Most Chinese battery makers are losing money. No way. Most Chinese battery makers are losing money. I mean, that's a warning sign, right? That's a warning to anyone making batteries in US. Now, in fairness, Enphase and Tesla contract a lot of these Chinese batteries, which helps take advantage of those falling prices, right? It just suggests total battery value will become more competitive over time. Like making 30% off batteries that you resell from China probably won't last. Making 30% off batteries you resell from China probably won't last. That's my take. All right. Chinese factories. Focus on what you're good at. I totally agree. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Technically speaking, should be cheaper since battery makers have massively scaled up production. Blah, blah, blah. Reducing range, blah, blah, blah. Last year, okay, that's fine. Now they're talking a little bit about chemistries and that. That's fine. All right. Curious. All right, cool. Behind the sky evaluation, trying to, okay, fine. Let's see here. We saw the 2 bill. We saw the Anthropic. Waymo over Austin activity getting investigated. Let's take a look at that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. Done with the info. Let's see what we have over here. NTSB Friday said it planned to open a safety investigation into Waymo around school buses. Waymo had illegally passed several district buses at least 19 times. Man, talk about the edge cases of trying to have to build this in. I mean, it is a stop sign, right? Like, you should be able to... I think they have enough sensors to identify a potential stop sign, you'd think, right? So, some violations occurred after the software update. We see this as an opportunity to provide transparent insight, blah, blah, blah. I mean, yeah, I don't think this is a big deal. I mean, it's obviously important that they stop, that they're dealing with it, but I don't think the investigation is like some crazy smoking gun. Nothing juicy over there. All right, let's try the Doomers now. Doomburger. Dollar drops. Dollar. The dollar go down. Let's see. Fed to hold rates steady as political storm intensifies. Yes. Trump is deploying his border czar. That's Homan's going over there. U.S. Treasury says it canceled Alan Hamilton's contracts. Okay, whatever. German auto union hints at escalation as cost cut pressures grow. Okay, this is like a layoff argument. Apple announces new AirTag with longer range and louder speaker. Oh, that's awesome. What? Like, there's no event today, as far as I'm aware. The new model... Let's see here. Apple unveiled new AirTag. The new watches can also track from their wrist for the first time. Oh, that's cool. So they basically just improved the things that were annoying for people. Oh, it's a terminal. Whatever. That's interesting. Good for them. AirTags, really. Let's see if they're available yet. AirTag. The new AirTag. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Very interesting. You know, they just got to make it a little smaller. If they can make it smaller, that'd be cool too. But, all right, good. So now what? What is this? This is the auto union warned it would step up pressure on companies like Benz and VW if they continue pushing aggressive cost cutting, shifting products abroad. Oh, okay. The union is getting pissed about the cost cutting. Oh, I get it. I mean, that's the job of unions. The industry has detailed job cuts that will eliminate 100,000 positions by 2030. Well, yeah, probably because of robotics to some extent are doing really well. Oh, but it's also, look at this, pressure from BYD. Yeah, that, I'm telling you, I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,000 times more. If we let Chinese companies sell us cars in America, we would all be driving Chinese cars. Yeah. All right. What's this? What's up, Tom? Dusty Comp, the Shadow Banking Collapse. Yeah, where are you seeing info on that? Send us some more details. All right, that's boring. Canadians are boycotting U.S. ski slopes? Yeah, because there's no snow. Like, there's no snow. Oh, well, Vermont has snow, in fairness. That's true. But like, the other side, Utah, Colorado, Truckee, we need a storm, man. Like, when are we going to get some snow? Let's see, 10-day weather forecast. 10-day weather forecast. Park City, Utah. see what the Weather Channel has for us. What is this crap? No snow. Nothing. Like what I got over here. 24% chance on my birthday, and then nothing. No snow. I don't think Truckee is going to be any different. Truckee. Wait. Oh, that's Ventura. I want Truckee, the city or town, whatever you'd call it. Truckee, California. Yeah, look at that. No snow, dude. No snow. No snow. It's crazy. All right. Vermont, Canadians, okay. Canadian renewals had fallen at 35%. Yeah, well, that doesn't terribly surprise me. Stick to Canada. Personally asked why. Okay, so they decided to call 100 of them to personally ask why they hadn't made plans to return. They just couldn't, in good conscience, come to the States. It's because of Trump. Yeah. Steep discounts on bookings. Biggest source of international visitors. They're hoping people will put aside their feelings towards Trump. I mean, I don't blame that. Like, if I were Canadian, you know, I would probably be thinking about going to Canadian ski resorts. You know, I don't actually think, I think this is entirely rational. So, I'm not surprised. All right. So, somebody says, so much snow in Ontario. Do you guys have ski slopes in Ontario? Our family canceled our ski trip to the U.S. until you get rid of that cancer. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where you're from, Martin, but I don't blame it. I don't blame it at all. I get it. Ontario, Canada, skiing. Do you guys have Blue Mountain? Really? You guys have skis over there? What? Let me see here. Let me get my bearings here. I guess you got some ski places. Here's Barrie. Oh yeah, you guys do. Ski area with lodge. Oh wow. Oh, I didn't know this. Oh shoot, I should just go to Barrie then. I'll go over to Toronto. I always just get scared if I leave the country, even as a U.S. citizen. I'm like, man, what's going to happen when I cross the border coming back in? What are they going to do to me? They're going to be like, sir, you were born in Germany. I'll be like, yeah, but I'm a citizen. And they're like, we don't care. You're out. And I'm like, all right. Honey, I guess we're moving to Germany or Canada. We'll just go to Canada. All right. We could be in the same time zone. Okay. Stable coins. Let's see. Banks. Blah, blah, blah. We saw the NVIDIA thing. Okay. Where are the dollar hollers today? Let's see here. What do we got here? Let's see. Reviewing everything about the Minneapolis shooting. Yeah, good, because they look like clowns defending ICE over what happened, but, you know, whatever. Pessin, Gavin Newsom feud over a dumb idea. Whatever, I don't even care about that. Government accounting is fraudulent. Oh, yeah. Well, there's no surprise on that one. Time for ICE to pause. Oh, the editorial board's going off on them. Good. Home insurance is now more expensive than the mortgage for these Americans. Wow. World economy is hooked on government debt. Not a surprise. Let me see what if the Wall Street Journal adds any detail on this. Pouring an additional $2 billion. Expanded collaboration underscores the strength of demand. This is such bullcrap. That's just a lie. They're out of money. No, let's see here. Pour some tea in the meantime. New factories will test and validate NVIDIA's core software. Blah, 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 blah. Deeper interoperability, blah, blah, blah. This is my tea, buddy. Let's go. All right. Ruben platform. Let's see what the comments are. I'm very curious about the Wall Street Journal comment section. Oh, don't tell me they turned the comments off. Oh, come on. No comments on this one? Oh, they're always the best. Ah, we got scammed. So this is the editorial board. This is how it looks to us. Preddy attempted foolishly to assist a woman who had been pepper sprayed by agents. Multiple agents then tackled Preddy, had a phone on his hand. An agent discovered his concealed gun, disarmed him. An agent then shot Preddy multiple times. I think a lot of the news agencies are missing the negligent discharge. The fact that the agent who pulled the gun out of his holster from his six, somehow pulled the damn trigger. And that seemed to spook everybody else. Like, man, that's like a professional level of dumb there. Oh, yeah, I'm going to disarm somebody and accidentally shoot their gun. Now, I know a lot of people are going to make, like, SIG jokes, but whatever. FHFA announced Fannie Freddie could buy $450 billion in mortgage prices. How are they're going to have... Still, I thought it was $200 billion. They'd have to leverage up so much. Let me see where you have that. Where'd you see that? 450 bill. I haven't seen that. No, it's permitted to hold a combined 450 billion. That's different. See, yeah, that's a little different. Because see, right here it says to purchase 200 billion in MBS. But then... let's see here. Fannie Freddie are permitted to hold a combined 450 billion. Yeah, exactly. So that's that $200 billion gap. So, to be clear about that, I always think it's funny when people are like, oh, you shouldn't go to a protest with a gun. I think that's funny because, like, first of all, your Second Amendment right doesn't disappear because of that. Now, some CCW states restrict going to certain locations when you have a gun, but or with a gun. But that doesn't. What the hell is going on with my mouse? But that doesn't make you a. That doesn't mean you deserve the death sentence. And then I always think it's funny when people are like, "Oh yeah, don't go to a protest with a gun." The guy brings a concealed carry, SIG to a protest, and some people carry every single day, And then the same people who are like, "Oh well, he shouldn't have brought a gun," are like, "Well, bro, like, have you seen Trump people go to protests?" You know what I'm saying? Like, have you seen the Trump version of the protests? Okay. That makes no sense. That makes no sense at all. It's comedy. But anyway, yeah, no, regarding this Fannie Freddie thing, it's a combined 450 billion. So I will make a note of that because I think that's very interesting. So let's see here. Let's screenshot this. Let's put this. Shadow banks hide losses by marketing to model. Oh, interesting. I'm going to look that up. Okay, Dusty, thank you for that. Firms are using PIK debt. Yes, that is true. Well, that's the big private credit problem, right? So that's the big private credit issue we're seeing. But anyway, let me make this MBS note right here. MBS note, talk of up to 450 billion is likely due to the potential for Fannie Freddie to hold a combined 450 bill, which allows / enables up to 200 billion more, which is what Trump announced. Somebody says that SIG is notorious for going off without pulling the trigger. You have to be careful on that because a lot of people are talking about that in like those YouTube videos. But what they'll do is they'll literally put like a pin to pre-prime the trigger in the gun, so like it looks really bad, but people who look closely, it's like, I don't know, man. SIG, like This guy, this guy kind of went viral over it, right? But the thing about this is, look at that. He's literally put a screw in there to pre-prime the trigger back, right? And then when he pops it, like taps it with a blank or whatever, it's enough of vibration to get it to negligently discharge. But like, I don't think people who are concealed carrying are walking around with a screw in the trigger guard. You know what I mean? Like, it seems a little broken if you think about it, right? So yeah, somebody's like not cooperating with yeah, I mean, look, the thing is, not cooperating or being disorderly doesn't deserve a death sentence, right? Like, it doesn't deserve being executed, right? Look at this, 627, baby, right on the edge. Right on the edge. So, look at that, right on the edge over here. We've got, what do we got here? CoreWeave. Yeah, CoreWeave lost that 105. Then you've got, let's see here. What's Circle doing? Oh, interesting. Had a little bit of buy momentum over there for a moment. AMD can't hold up. Target can't do anything. Although it's done nicely over the past few weeks. All right, let's go keep going here. What else do we have? We got the journal. Let's go finish the journal. All right. So, world economy is hooked on debt. Yeah, it is. So, let's see here. Frankfurt, avalanche of debt, multi-trillion-dollar investment into AI. Could be a risky strategy at the time of low unemployment and higher interest rates. The sell-off in Japan could spill over, pushing up treasury markets. It's a red flag. Another symptom of the bubbling under the surface of advanced economies. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Weak private sector demand and poor productivity growth. Okay, but is that London? That's a chief economist in London. Threat and escalation, Greenland, we saw that. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. All right, whatever. Let's go to the economy, or let's go to the Economist. Economist. $4.99 for an S triple Q's play. I mean, it's logical, right? For like a lunchtime sell-off, but you could always, the problem is, if you go into S triple Q's now, it's possible you get a fake breakout on 627 first, and then you come down. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to see some selling going into the close, and it's usually around lunchtime, so give it like 90 minutes or so, you start seeing some of this flip, roll off the edge, if you will. So, yeah, very interesting. Okay, now let's see here. Will AI kill the smartphone? No, not anytime soon, in my opinion. So, let's see here. Why Congress won't restrain Donald? Well, yeah, because Donald is really powerful at like primarying people. Is really powerful in the Republican Party. Okay, what else do we have here? Expansionist itch, undermine global security, Western leaders navigate the world alone, the true danger posed by Donald Trump. What is this? Oh, that's him on the bear? Oh, this was yeah, okay, we saw that with the, treasury bonds and people diversifying away from America. Strava public listing will help it race ahead of competitors. Who's Strava? Strava, a popular exercise app. Did they file an S1 or what? Let me see if they filed anything. No, there's no filing yet. Okay. At least they haven't mentioned anything. But I always like looking at the financial filings. Somebody donates $20. Kevin, honest question, wild thesis or legit possibility? With a shutdown possibility Friday, could Trump and Besson already be coordinating with Japan on post-shutdown intervention so any market fallout gets blamed on Democrats? Well, how does a runner like Kevin not know about shutdown? I don't. I've never heard about it. I don't know anything about it. Okay, so I just use the running app on the watch. It's good enough for me. You know, I don't use any other app for running. I do for skiing. For skiing, I use the Slopes app because it'll actually tell the difference between you being on a lift versus being on a ski run, whereas the skiing function on the watch doesn't, and that's annoying. But anyway, so wild thesis. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the possibility of a shutdown. I don't think we're likely to have a shutdown last very long if there is one. I don't think this is like October. In October, Trump was really incentivized to hide the unemployment numbers, as well as fire people by giving vote that license to sort of fire people. I don't think that that incentive exists right now. So I think it's going to be very hard to argue that Donald Trump wants for sure a government shutdown and that he somehow benefits from it. So I think that's less likely. And if we do have a shutdown, I don't think it will last very long. So I'm not really worried about the shutdown. Your comment, though, about Trump and Besson coordinating with Japan on post-shutdown intervention so market fallouts get blamed on Democrats. I do think that there's coordination, but I think the coordination is to try to limit the damage of the Japanese carry trade ending. I think they understand that they need this market to hold up between now and midterms. Otherwise, it's going to be really bad for Republicans. And it's probably going to be really bad for Republicans either way you slice it, honestly. So that's my take. So player 11111 says, leaving money in your unlocked car doesn't mean you deserve to be robbed, but it's still a bad decision, like bringing a gun and resisting arrest. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, there's truth to that too. But like you said, you know, it doesn't deserve an execution, right? So I mean, there's one of the things that I found when I did a lot of law enforcement work. I mean, at this point, like 16 years ago, was that local cops often had a lot of criticisms about how federal agents are trained. Back then, it was specifically in regard to like the FBI compared to ICE. You know, that wasn't something that was really talked about then. But tactics. I'll just give you an example. If you arrest somebody and you're detaining them inside of, let's say, a living room, and you're going to sit them down on a couch while you finish dealing with, you know, whatever you're dealing with as a scene, you have to, like, remove the couch cushions first to make sure there's not a gun hidden behind the couch cushions. But sometimes they go, I got to sit on the couch, and then they're handcuffed behind their back, right? And they kind of reach between the sliver of the couch, and then they can go shoot. So that was just an example that I remember back, in training, where people would make these comparisons to federal law enforcement and say they had less sort of boots on the ground training than law enforcement officers who were on the ground every single day dealing with, you know, perpetrators or whatever. And so I thought that comparison that was just one example. I always thought that comparison was very useful. But I do think, you know, what you see in that video is a clear sign of a lack of training. It's pretty sad. Okay, so what else here? And I think the negligent discharge is really what spooked everyone there. So that's why some people are saying, SIG might end up having some liability there. But it's also unclear if the agent, like, grabbed the gun and pulled the trigger. You know, some people, when they pick up a gun, they put their finger right on the trigger, and it's like, oh, man, well, you know, especially in the heat of a moment, that's pretty dumb. But it's hard to know. But that's another thing that could come up with the shutdown as well, is they might try to negotiate that ICE officers have to wear body cameras, which honestly is probably a good idea. I mean, Leos have to, right? So why not? Okay, so we did Wall Street Journal. Let's go to Axios. Let's see what else is going to. So let's see here. Somebody says, I live in Norway. Everyone uses Strava. Oh, that's cool. Well, maybe it's like a big, is it like a social thing? Can you like link up with other people or whatever? I didn't say it was the SIG's fault, Jerry. Maybe you joined the video late. If you paid attention to what I said, I literally said I didn't think it was the SIG's fault, and that these people who make these videos about negligent discharge, putting screws in the trigger well of the gun, and I even showed the damn video, are misleading people, I think, on the safety of SIGs. Like, I own a SIG, and I think it's, some of it's a little loony. But Jerry here only wants to listen to some of the context and not all of it. Damn it, Jerry. Come on, Jerry. Anyway, where were we? So let's see here. Okay. You know, if we didn't have coupon code B-Day, we would have to go over to meetkevin.com right now, and we would have to make a coupon code called Damn It Jerry. That's what we would have to do. Call it Damn It Jerry. And then you would get all 9 courses, every trade alert, every private live stream, all the alpha report, the top 11 stocks to buy. You'd get all of that. But we already have coupon code B-Day. You know, it's got every single course ever made. And the new one. You know, we just made this course, the Reinvest course, in December. Brand new content. It's actually pretty good. Oops. Okay, cool. So now let's go. Yeah, see, look at this. We're still sucking on to that 627. That's why I was saying I think it's still a little too early for triple Qs. You know, unless you're willing to be patient. But you know, all it takes is one little Trump truth, and then you get like the pop above, and then come back down by the close. But let's see. We'll see what lunchtime looks like. All right. So, yeah, Tom, is this your friend? Tom from MySpace here has an angry face. You know, I think he's pissed. You know, Tom and Jerry. Come on, Tom. Would you handle Jerry? All right. So, Politico. So, Justice Department is investigating Ilhan Omar. Oh, man. EU probes Musk on the Grok sexualized images. You know, now what people are doing with Grok is instead of saying, undress this woman or put her in a bikini, what they're doing is make this woman black or make this woman white. And it's like, oh, man. Have you all seen, like, the Grok cigarette meme? People are spamming it all over. It's hilarious. I can't. It's like a sad Tesla Optimus with the label Grok standing against the wall with the cigarette. Like, come on, why are you making me do this or whatever? You know, it's hilarious. All right. What else? I mean, it's actually little right now. Let's see here. Trump's tariffs can't cover a bill this staggering. What's going on over here? Trump's Board of Peace is already floundering. Well, it might be just the Post bagging on Trump. They kind of try to do that every day. Trump tries again to deliver his affordability message. Too late to stop White House ballroom construction. Yeah, whatever. Court holding hearings in Minnesota lawsuits that seek curb to federal agents. Fine. Dangerous record cold could last for days. Okay. No one has to pay to file their income taxes. Here's how to do it for free. What is that, an ad? Sounds like an ad. Most read. Yeah, the Trump tariff one. Well, that doesn't surprise me. All right, let's see what we got here. So, what do we have here? President Trump assures Americans that all the money raised from tariffs will take care of it. Cato Institute, a libertarian think tank, has been tracking Trump's promises, adding it together. Trump said the windfall from his tariffs will help cover $6 billion in costs. That's over 22 times more than the administration's own estimates for how much revenue tariffs will generate this year. We run the numbers, they don't pencil out. The block represents $264 billion of tariff revenue in 2025. All right, here comes the hosing, which includes tariffs that already existed before Trump took office. Right. All right. So what is this? WIC funding, WIC program. These are costs. Childcare, tax credits, sovereign wealth fund. This is all the spending. Warrior dividend, right, to veterans. Farmer bailout, $12 billion. This is kind of cool how they did this. Ukraine victory fund. 46 billion so far spent of tariff revenue. But it's only scratched the surface so far of what Trump's going to do. Tariff dividend. Okay, yeah, well, we know he can't afford that. $280 billion. Offset the deficit increase from the one big beautiful bill, $545 billion. Yeah. Well, we know that was a big increase to the debt long term over the next 10 years. Current military budget, tariffs need to cover $600 billion because we're increasing the budget for the DoD by $300 billion with money we don't have. So it's more borrowing. Trump will pay off our debt. Well, we know that's a lie because we're still deficit spending. Yeah, cutting the income tax. I mean, that's not going to happen. I mean, those are just ideas and promises. There's no way they're getting rid of the income tax. All right, so I mean, none of this is a surprise. We know the numbers are funny. I don't think there's any use of really paying much attention to that. We already knew. Okay, so aircraft carriers reach the Middle East. See, now this is interesting because I think that's one of the reasons we delayed the... Oh, where'd it go? There was something else I wanted to click on. What is this? Oh, it just... New evidence shows how discrimination shortens lives in Black communities. Huh. It's an interesting title. Okay, I thought there was something else I wanted to click on over here. How bad is Delhi's air? Like smoking half a pack of cigarettes. Really? Millions of people in India's capital are breathing in polluted air that is the equivalent of smoking 9 cigarettes a day. Wow. That's a crazy claim. Okay. TSA faster pre-check line is expanding. Facial recognition program. Touchless ID. Oh, that's cool. All right, whatever. What is this? So this will be interesting. U.S. aircraft carrier and several additional warship approached the Middle East on Monday because it took them a couple weeks to send them out there. Three escorting destroyers were in the Indian Ocean, too far to easily strike Iran. But now they'll be really close. Trump nearly approved strikes, only to cool the idea on Jan 14th. Iran's on high alert. People are warning that Iran is going to be more aggressive with their counterattack. That's what they say every time. And then it ends up being a joke. We have a big flotilla going in that direction, and we'll see what happens, Trump said, returning from Davos. We have a big force going towards Iran. I'd rather not see anything happen, but we're watching things very closely. Yeah, I mean, that's honestly a nice little signal of power. Like, hey, we got a whole strike group right outside of your country. You better not dick around. You know what? I'm all for that. I think that's fair. Okay, so then we've got, let's see. I think the only one we haven't looked at yet. FT. Oh, the only two. So FT and Times. So FT. Dollar sinks. Saw that. A lot of this has to do with Japan. Saw this CoreWeave thing, which is interesting. Is marathon running actually safe? Wait, what's wrong with marathon running? Just give me the bottom line. Let's just go to the bottom of it. What's their bottom line? Running becomes counterproductive when the pursuit of distance or personal best starts to erode mood, relationship, or recovery. Oh, because you're spending too much time doing that, basically. Around 90% of runners will pick up an injury, most often the kneecap. Huh. Interesting. I mean, I think if you do everything too much, it's a Goldilocks dose. What is? Too much and you have stress factor, too little and you have weak bones. Right. Yeah. I try to run on the dirt partly because of this. Oh, the sweet spot is 30 to 40 minutes a day. Yeah. Go run 4 or 5 miles or something like that. Maybe 6, depending on how fast you are. All right, that's cool. I agree with that. Let's see. Sanctioned Iranian banker amassed 400 million euro property empire. Wow. Offshore accounts. This guy owns the Steinberger Golf and Spa Resort. Iranian owned. Wow, look at that. Ultimate beneficial owner. All the various different holding companies. Hilton Frankfurt. I feel like I've been in that hotel. Hilton in Frankfurt. Man, but that would have been like 16 years ago. Anyway, all right. What else? Anything else fun going on here? We've got... Oh, no. Rheinmetall in talks over Starlink-style service for German army. Wait, are they going to compete with Starlink? Negotiating with satellite company over bid for slice of military space. Satellite producer OHB are in talks to launch a bid to build the equivalent of Starlink for German armed forces. See, I think that's another reason why Elon wants to IPO so badly. Somebody says, can confirm, ran my first marathon and had a stress fracture. Oh, sorry to hear that. That sucks. Yeah, I think this is very interesting because you have, Elon wants to IPO as soon as possible. Nancy Pelosi. Oh, wow. Nancy Pelosi sold, look at this. $50 million worth of Apple? Holy smokes, sold. 50 million of Apple, 5 million of Disney, 5 million of Nvidia, and then bought leaps of 500K, 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 250K, Google, Amazon, Apple, Nvidia. So basically took major profits and then bought leaps to hedge against the upside. Wow. Alliance Bernstein's in there as well. That was a purchase. Sell partial. I guess they didn't publish all of it. That's interesting. All right, what else? So then we have, let's see here. Rheinmetall. Yeah, this is fascinating, really, because of, this is why I believe Elon needs to rush to IPO Starlink, because he doesn't want to IPO Starlink when there's a bunch of competition. Let's go open another Poca pack here. I've got one left. Jack did the earlier one. We didn't get anything. So let's open this one. And we'll keep talking here about... We'll go look at the sticks in just a moment. But, yeah, the struggle is we don't have the best camera angle to do this here, but that's all right. So we'll, maybe I'll try this angle. We'll try our best over here. All right. So let's get that pack opened up. All right, let's get rid of that. So let's see what we got on this Poca pack. So our first 6 or 7 are not going to be much. Although some of the art is pretty cool. That's probably a little far away for us, but it's all right. If we get something cool, I'll show it up close. Hunter, that's cool. Battle Cage, Trainer. Here's our reverse holo. When I was a kid, they never did these reverse holos. A holo was a holo. But now you have these where basically you have the shiny part is not the little middle part, right? Here we go. And another reverse holo here. And then let's see if we got anything. Okay, that's all right. It's probably like a $3 card. So, not great, not terrible. Can we get any focus there? Can't really get it to focus. It's all right. There we go. It's all right. It's kind of fun. We got Mega Deoncy X. 2 black stars. Nothing fancy. All right, cool. So, where were we here? But yeah, anyway, going back to this, I do think that this is Donald or Elon Musk's MO, because he knows this competition is coming, not just from Bezos, but also now Rheinmetall, and they've got a lot of money. And I don't know this other company, Bremen-based. Okay, OHB. Yeah. You'll see a lot of companies competing for this over time. Somebody says 627 confirmed. Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. Exactly 627. I don't know. I don't think, like I said, I still think there's a chance before lunch you get a little bit of a breakout before you get that end of the day slowdown, But I don't know. So Fed pause this week. I think there are plenty of reasons to be bullish. I increased my bear bull scale this morning in the alpha report. Remember, you can be part of that whole thesis building. It's not just short-term trading. It's all the long-term thesis building we do as well in fundamental analysis. But you're more than welcome to join those every morning. Grab the B-Day coupon at mekevin.com. We'll have a big price increase again. Okay, so talk all that strategy. Okay. Then, we had some really nice feedback as well. Some folks sent us some emails on their use of the ReInvestAI to find deals. So that's fun. It means we're on the right track for what we're building with HouseHack. We'll have a big update in Q2, we think, for our valuation AI, which will be really fun. Is the economy as hot as Trump thinks? Davos did not hold back claim. Growth is exploding. Productivity surging, he says. Presidential hyperbole aside. Let's see. Most advanced economies would be thrilled with U.S. numbers, official statistics. Yeah, I mean, the Atlanta Fed GDP is very, very happy. Yeah, look at that. Fourth quarter boosts over here. Risk of a sudden move would be a rebound in inflation. Yeah, that is probably contributing to gold's increase, by the way. It's this idea that inflation's not going to go away now quickly, thanks in part due to Trump's tariffs. Here, even if fourth quarter growth is partly driven by trade swings, if it turns out Q4 growth is 5.4% even without the shutdown, it could have been 6 or 7 without it, or even with the shutdown. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Trump's desire to run the economy is hot, is creating the risk of rekindling inflation, which is true. Productivity numbers, let's go yellow on that. Trump's decision to back down from threats increases tariffs. Okay, administration is seeking to drive growth higher. Intent of the administration has to have a very hot economy, right? Inflation could be more meaningful. Well, that's the risk of hopefully Powell doesn't set up for any kind of rate hikes, because if they not only pause but then they set up for rate hikes, ooh. Let's see. Dollar is tanking, inflation is unchecked, employment figures don't look good, and sentiment is poor. Pure GDP figures don't tell the whole story. Blah, 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 blah. All right, whatever. Okay. Let's see if the info added anything else. The info. Nancy Pelosi selling. That was very interesting. I'd say Nancy Pelosi selling wasn't really on the bingo board today. 50 million or whatever, and Apple. And where does Nancy Pelosi get all these dollars from anyway? But anyway, yeah, see, here you're starting to get that slight breakout. Again, I've been saying it for like an hour. Like, wait on buying puts until you confirm some kind of lunchtime sell-off. But otherwise, this little trickle up is not a surprise. Look what gained the lead. We got Figure that gained the lead. And Apple up nearly 3%. Nobody cared, I guess, about Nancy Pelosi selling. Well, I think the Gemini deal is a game changer. It's actually going to make Apple's AI good, like, overnight. Apple AI will overnight be amazing with Gemini. It's all leveraging on Google, right? But, yeah, I guess Google will get a lot of that data, which is exactly what they want. All right. Let's see here. Anything else? Bridgewater CIOs are wary of inflation risks. Yes, we know. Private debt fund. This is the big issue that's going on right now is what's going on in private debt. Wow, 16.7. TCP Capital. Let's go look at that one. TCP Cap. Wow, 14% over here. Okay. Yeah, wow, dude. Because they wrote down like 19% of their NAV. And I'm telling you, man, that's like the private credit issue is weird. See, look, it's very unusual and will likely rekindle private credit fears. Yeah. That's a bigly concern. Because private credit is a canary. Private credit along with like I talked about in the video yesterday, the Japanese carry trade, when you combine those, that's the oopsie doopsies. So it's a combination of all of those factors. Anyway, all right, that's all I got for now. Thanks so much for being here, folks. Remember, if you want to invest in HouseHack, we did open that up. If you have any HouseHack questions, I'll answer those really quickly. But otherwise, you could go. I love you either way. But if you want to invest in HouseHack, you could do so between now and February 6th. We did briefly extend the fundraise only just because of the practicality of it. You still get the 5% yield through conversion. You can invest with credit card, ACH, wire, no fees to invest. 5% yield, plus all the upside in the stock, whatever that could potentially be after conversion. You are investing in the August of 2024 valuation, which in my opinion means you're getting like a 1.5 year old valuation. And I'm putting $1 million in this week into the same exact round. And then we're done. Then I could finally be officially done, and we're closing it. So I'm kind of excited about that. And if you have any questions, hit us up at ir@househack.com. Love y'all. Can we invest with Pokemon? I might have to negotiate an option for that. So yeah, a lot of new features coming for the ReInvestAI as well. I see a lot of your questions and feedback. And I mean, we have a whole roadmap already of features that we want for this. It's just, we just have to build it. The rest. Like our vision AI is already out. We are actually using our own tuned artificial intelligence. Like we think we are creating profit through actual artificial intelligence. If this is not like some GPT wrapper or whatever, this is sort of homegrown AI, which we think is really fun. But a lot of people don't understand that because they hear, oh, another AI. It's like, we think we're different. But then again, I don't want to oversell anything. There's we don't need the money. But I just want to be crystal clear with people. Like, oh, you didn't tell me there was a 2-week extension. Yeah, I did. So anyway, all right, folks. I love y'all. Thank you so much. I won't be here tomorrow, but we'll see y'all later. Goodbye, folks. I love you. Goodbye.